Welcome to the Jill on Money podcast. It is Tuesday, September 29th. The month of September just blew by. Talk about a blur. Whew. It's nuts. All right, so here we go. We're about to embark on the end of the month ritual of everyone's going to get statements, month to date. You're going to get all nuts. Don't worry about it, okay? Everyone calm down. You're long-term investors. You're long-term about your life. Let's get your financial life in order. Let's try to answer your questions so you don't drive yourselves crazy or maybe even your family members crazy. All you need to do is to send us an email. Ask Jill at jillonmoney.com. That's ask Jill at jillonmoney.com. Okay, this is from Heather, who wants to know the difference between a financial planner and a fiduciary. Now, here's what she writes. I understand that a financial planner receives kickbacks from funds or insurance products as well as a management fee, while with a fiduciary, we have to hire someone, pay an upfront fee, and then we get insight into additional fees. Okay, hold on. A financial planner is somebody who is supposedly trying to do comprehensive financial planning for you. All right? Now, financial planners can be fiduciaries. A fiduciary means that that person has to put your best interest before her own interest or her company's interest. Okay? Now, what you're describing is kind of a difference of fee structures, which doesn't necessarily mean that somebody is a fiduciary or not. So let me give you an example. There are some fiduciaries that will not take commissions at all. There are other fiduciaries who say, well, in certain cases, maybe paying a commission is actually a better thing for you. So it's important to understand that there's a distinction. A financial planner, big picture category is, hey, we do like your macro stuff, we do the planning work, and then we implement it or you implement it. A fiduciary will make sure that all advice that is given to you is in your best interest. They can be both. You can be a fiduciary who conducts financial planning, but the fee structure is a separate issue. And you've got to understand that that fee structure is something that can be really all over the map. Generally, either commission-based, fee-based, or flat fee. Those are your three choices. And it doesn't mean that someone's better or worse. Like if you have someone who says, I charge you an asset under management fee, and that person can also be a fiduciary. And the person who says, here's pay me 10 grand to do a financial plan and execute that plan, that person can also be a fiduciary. Okay. All right. Now, Heather's question, we're looking to roll old 401ks into something else like a brokerage account, or maybe to do some Roth IRA conversions. We wanted general investment advice, like should we be in Roth versus traditional? Is a fiduciary able to point me in the right direction as to what type of funds to run it into? Yes, absolutely. They want more advice than just roll it into Vanguard XYZ. Should we use an advisor, fiduciary, or financial planner? I think you should use a fiduciary. And I think that fiduciary should be someone who does financial planning and specifically has some retirement planning expertise. Check out the NAPFA, NAPFA.org website. Okay, this is from Deborah, who listens to our show and says, now I need some advice. I'll try to sum it up quickly. I may be asked to take an early retirement. I'm 61 and it's happening soon. Now, I won't take that early retirement unless they offer an incentive. If they don't, I can just retire whenever I want, maybe waiting till 62. My question is, my 403B, can it be rolled over into anything? Is it taxable? Can it be put in something not taxable to withdraw? Okay. Deep breath. I agree. There's no reason to take an early retirement, especially if you're 61. I would much prefer that you try to wait at least until your full retirement age. But I want to hear more about the rest of your financial life. In terms of a 403B or a 401k, you can always roll it into an IRA rollover and defer that taxation for as long as possible. Let's see. This is from Rick, who just turned 70 and retired. His wife is 59. And now I am claiming Social Security. My wife is employed. Between us, we are comfortable and paying expenses on a monthly basis, which are basically $150,000 mortgage and ancillary expenses. with our property estimated around $750,000. We live in Colorado. We have $120,000 in savings. We are conservative investors with a trusted advisor at one of the large banks. Depending on the day, I have $500,000 in my IRA rollovers, $100,000 of which is cash. My wife's portfolio is substantially more, and she will inherit a lot more within 5 years or so. We hope longer. My daughter's college has been paid for. She's currently employed in the Marine Corps Aviation. She's on her own and doing fine. Okay, here are the questions. We have a choice for 2020. We can defer about $10,000 into my wife's company provided 403B pre-tax, or we can put it in savings. I don't know if pre-tax sounds good to me. My wife and her parents have extended care policies. We understand the value of Roth products. Do you think putting some of the 2020 income, the aforementioned, into a Roth makes sense? We don't have any Roth holdings. Did they say what their income was? I don't know if you qualify on your income. You didn't mention how much your wife makes. You said she's still working. Remember, if you are married and you want to contribute to a Roth IRA, if you make more than $206,000, you cannot do that. If you make less, especially less than $196,000, you could make Roth IRA contributions. And if your wife's company offers a Roth 403B, that may be a way to do it because then that's not income-based. Okay, we've got all of our wills and DNRs in place, very clear. If you have any input regarding life planning, we'd appreciate it. What, in your opinion, haven't I asked? I don't know. It sounds pretty good. So I think this is a question really about your income. I like Roth assets also, especially if your wife's going to be inheriting a lot of money. It's nice to have some money that's already been taxed. Okay, Sandy writes, she read my column about the stock market's not the economy, and you can check that out on our website at jillonmoney.com. She goes on to say that this is an important lesson for all of us. My husband and I volunteer with a church-based organization that assists individuals and families struggling in the pandemic economy. Most of these neighbors have never asked for rental or utility assistance or visited a food pantry. They have successfully lived from paycheck to paycheck. In the pandemic, they've lost jobs and childcare and the fragile security of paycheck to paycheck. The stock market is not part of their economy, and they likely don't read the business pages. Thanks, Sandy. By the way, I love in the Sandy has a little thing at the underneath, like her signature line. It's quite beautiful. It says, "In the end, only kindness matters." And that is so true. Thanks for writing, Sandy. I really appreciate that. And I want to thank you all for listening. Another show in the can. So if you've got a financial question, we'd love to hear from you. Just send us an email. Ask Jill at jillonmoney.com. Ask Jill at jillonmoney.com. And if you want, you're visiting our website at jillonmoney.com. You can sign up for our free weekly newsletter. As always, wash your hands, wear your masks, maintain your physical distancing, and try to do something nice for somebody else today. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.